Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked off of turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
And your source for esports racing is live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network live tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway, home in NR 2003. Golly, how many times have we done this before at Talladega? It is a tally party tonight, and it is live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. How the heck are you doing out there, my Hobo family and friends and loyal fans out there? Phil LeCasse here, along with my broadcast partner, Mr. Too Tall Tot Stanton, finally back alongside me, and at the controls here live for a Tuesday night. Todd, we come back to Hobo Racing. We come back to Talladega, a place that there's so many stories to tell over the year. The only problem is most of those stories we can't tell on air.
Yeah, definitely, Phil. Most of the stories you can't tell on the air. We've had a lot of times here. Great times with the DRTV van. We've had some great times with I think the big semi-rig. We've had a lot of interesting times. People taking off with the van, infield parties, all kinds of jazz going on down there. But tonight we're here with the Hobo Racing League. 66 laps will be the distance around the Talladega Super Speedway, and I cannot wait to see what these guys have in store for us here this evening.
All right, so let's have some fun here for a second. I believe, Todd, that may have been the wrong intro. It's a brand new intro. It's awesome. Wrong show, I believe, though.
Yeah, definitely a different intro there for iRacing and
wrong button.
Or the button and everything that's going on out there. We just it's actually connected to the NASCAR 2003 side of things, but unfortunately we did not. I guess I pushed the wrong button, for that matter, I could say, but. Normally we have a NASCAR intro, but we went through the new intro here, and hopefully we're going to snazz that up, throw some NASCAR 2003 in there too. So it's just not iRacing, it's also NASCAR 2003 here on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We do it all for you, and we're happy to be out here aboard once again on a Tuesday night Hobo Racing here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Getting ready with the cars and the stars of the Hobo Racing League. A tremendous field of race cars on hand, but let's throw this thing trackside for tonight's command.
Drivers, start your engines.
And the command to fire engines goes out around the 2.66 mile Talladega Superspeedway, and here is tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, aboard car number 03, that is Danny Hardy, and alongside the number 68, Voiles trucking forward. What a way to have the Voiles trucking starting lineup. But the guy on the outside of the front row, car number 68, Brian Voiles. In row number 2, aboard car number 113, that is Caleb Lingle. And alongside the number 10, Hard Rock Cafe Pontiac, that is Randy Smith. Row number 3, aboard that familiar number 6, that'll be Rich Napick with Jeff Fugate aboard number 9 on the outside of row 3. Herman restarts 7th tonight aboard car number 73 with Clifton Ashley out tonight and aboard car number 4. 5th row, the number 61 of Ralph Pauly Brett Carter aboard car number 66 rolls off on the outside of row 5. Row number 6, the number 81 of Troy Donahue with the number 22 of Jason San Diego. Wiley King rolls off on 13th with the 95. The 112 is Eddie Rayleigh. Manny Diaz rounds out our top 15 here, running tonight in the number 710. The number 28 of Keith McLean rolls off tonight from 16th. 17th started the number 46 of Bob Gibson with the number 31 of Jeff Stakanis alongside. Duke Sorensen and Ron Simpson make up row number 10, with Steve Grant and Brendan Spadafora rolling off in position number 22. Steve Rubino starts off 23rd aboard car 21. Ricky Bumbalo aboard the number 85 rolls off position 24. 25th starter, hopefully not texting and driving here tonight, with the number 87 of Everett Lintz with the 029, a heavy hitter. Point leader coming in tonight, Kayla Jula starts 26 with Danny Rubino. Matt Stern making up the next row. Ricky Johnson and Kevin Roy going to come from the back of the field tonight in positions 29 and 30. 31st will be Rob Heath at number 38. Pushrod Bob Becker starts 32nd at number 17. Harry Cody Ann going to come deep in the field tonight aboard car number 13. Going to start off from position number 33. That is your full field, ready to lay it down here live at the Talladega Super Speedway as the field exiting now through the back straightaway off into turn number 3. I thought I was going to be rushing through that lineup there, Todd, but for whatever reason, I must have done a good job. I guess I've been practicing here lately, but I'll be on the air quite a bit. The lineup went a lot more smoothly and flawlessly and a lot less rushed than I thought it had to be.
Well, it's a little bit different as we're not talking, as it's a little bit different as we got a little bit more time. We got 2.66 miles, where usually we're used to the quarter mile, the half mile tracks. See, even the 3/4 mile tracks there, Phil.
Been doing quarter miles all week.
Yeah, we've been trying to hurry up through the lineup. Able to do this here rather smoothly, as you were able to do that even by yourself here. When I'm on the controls down here, it's really, really tough for me to do the starting grid, the lineup there. But we're getting ready, locked in, loaded here on. We're going to go down through the tribal, different pace of things for me too. And just getting back into it last night once again there, and did a quarter mile myself. So we're getting ready, actually probably a half mile there, Williams Grove. But getting ready here as we come down through the tribal here at Talladega to send these guys on their way with the Hobo Racing League. Just waiting for that iRacing flag, green flag to come out. And it's that 03 machine setting the pace. The green flag's in the air. We're racing down the front straightaway. Lap and a half probably to get up to full song for these drivers.
Sure is. As Danny Hardy and Brian Voiles going to be the front row. We'll see who is going to be the first to exit off of turn number 203. That familiar black GM Goodwrench machine that Danny Hardy has paraded for so long over the years. It's been so good to see him get back behind the wheel of that Father and Son racing car number 03 and PPR2 team. Brian Voiles, number 68. He is going to try to drag off the outside with help from Randy Smith. Second car on the inside is Caleb Lingle in the 113. They're going to stay door to door over in turn number 3, but it is a lap and a half to get these cars completely up the full song.
Yeah, Caleb Lingle doing a fantastic job in that 113 machine, able to maneuver down to the bottom side. The 6 of Rich Napick right there following suit here. Pretty much chained, they're locked together here. The top side also, that is being led by the 03 machine of Danny Hardy, Brian Voiles. The Voiles trucking number 68 right there in behind him. Looks like the bottom group strong here early on in the going at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Certainly is. We expect to see a lot of that. We'll see the bottom be good here early. Of course, open setups here on Tuesday night, so that changes a little bit of the flavor we've got used to over the years here at Talladega, but hey, we're happy to do so. Danny Hardy leading that slinky down the back straightaway, and a look at that run up high for the number 68 now. Brian Voiles up in the top lane as we look over in turn number 3 and 4, as I was just kind of riding back into the middle part of the field, seeing where everybody kind of is minding their business. Rich Napick in the 6 car, he's looking to make something happen as the 03 of Hardy is now up to the high side. Caleb Lingle, the 113, he's trying to make a bid for the race lead, but Danny Hardy with the push of the Voiles trucking forward of Brian Voiles. They're going to stay 1-2 in the top lane, but start-finish line to complete lap 2.
Definitely doing a fantastic job is the 03 of Danny Hardy and Brian Voiles. Right there directly behind them, that's Clifton Ashley aboard the number 4 Pennzoil Menard sponsored machine. And same way with the number 10, I should say, right directly behind him. Oh, we got a wreck upside down the back straight away. We have guys with pilot licenses down the back straight away there, Phil. And maybe even a quick turtle back there. We're going to have to go back and see that. Huge carnage down on the back straightaway at Talladega. What would you expect? Anything less here at Talladega is a blink of an eye could cause massive destruction, and that's what happened on the back straightaway.
You always say carnage sits just around, lurks around every corner here at Talladega, and this one, it may be considered the big one, and it happens right away on lap number 3. First caution flag of the night brought to you by Hobo Racing, and of course our yellow flag sponsor every night here on the network could be Hannibal Record Service. Got to thank those guys as well, but it's going to put Todd down to work and give you all the angles of a BladeNode.com full velocity racing network instant replay. No, Todd's going to be quick on the buttons to see what happened back there, but carnage, chaos, a lot of tore up race cars, and there's some really fast ones involved with this one, Todd. This one probably gathered up 12, 13. This is probably about 15 cars, I got to say, involved.
It definitely, Phil, we're going to show a slow motion replay here. And it looks like a little bit of a net code here, Phil. It looks like the 25 of Simpson coming down there. It looks like he doesn't make contact, but it's almost like he made contact with Brendan Spataforis, propelling the 25 into the wall. Back down hits Jules. Jules comes back across the track into the 59 there, Duke Sorensen, as we ride along with him. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a different fray here. Is you're seeing Bumbelow here in the number 85 machine. I believe Johnson around. We got some guys upside down. It's really hard to see through the smoke here. I'm going to tell you, no, we're not going to see any turtles, but we're seeing a lot of flipping around. We got doing the best rendition of the Spinneroonie down there, Ron Simpson, that number 25 machine. But a lot of guys upside down. They land back on their wheels. But man, what a great show that they have out there.
Oh my goodness, I was over there watching this back here through the replay. You're showing off and watching these cars just flip and just destroying each other. And for a second, I thought we had a leader over there on the wall, but he come off the wall. I was hoping we had something funny out there, but nothing funny about the carnage we have on the racetrack on lap number 5. Multiple cars tore up. Ron Simpson, I think, the absolute worst on this one is that car already behind the wall. Ricky Bumbelow's number 85 took a big shot as well. There were many cars in there. I think Everett Lynch in the 87 also got a piece in there. I believe Matt Stern in the 04 takes a big shot. Don't forget, Matt won the last time out on a super speedway. The 04 taking on the win at Daytona with these guys a couple of short weeks ago. So Matt Stern was hoping to keep that super speedway dominant string kind of going, or the luck or whatever. He's going to be tore up here early on at Talladega, Todd. It certainly is, but it gives us a good time here to thank all the sponsors that make the network go down for us here night after night. Of course, NR 2003, you got to thank the Voiles Trucking, Kathy and Brian Voiles, for all they do for us and the entire sim racing community as a whole. They sponsor a lot of series out there. The commitment for the Voiles family to sim racing is absolutely 100% unquestioned. You're going to find them today over at Voiles Trucking over on Facebook. They do commercial freight transfers and commercial truck leasing. No job too big or too small. Located in Beebe, Arkansas. Give them a look up on Facebook. Even send them a message. Voiles Trucking over on Facebook. Thank you to Brian and Kathy for all their involvement here and Full Velocity Racing Network and NR 2003. Also want to thank the gang over at Hannibal Record Service, our official caution flag sponsors each and every night. You got to check the gang out over there today. Also on Facebook at Hannibal Record Service. Go over to google.com, search up Hannibal Record, help him get his search portfolio out there as well. And thank Tyler for indeed what he does, not only for all the mainly for the iRacing dirt community, but it does a lot for sim racing in a total, and for us here at Full Velocity, we certainly appreciate that. Also got to thank our buddy Jeff Brown over at iRacing iFlag. For you iRacers out there that are looking to get a step above the competition, well, you need to check all these website widgets out. The iFlags, telemetries, they make a terrific addition to your sim racing rig. Check him out today over at iRacingIFlag.com. Also going to say hello and salute the gang over at BladeNode.com. It is simple web solutions powered by nerds. If you need website hosting, a VPS server, or maybe even go big time with a dedicated server, well, look no further than BladeNode.com. And if you use promo code FERN, you will get 25% off your first monthly or yearly subscription. So once again, check them out. BladeNode.com. Also want to say thank you and hello to our buddy Scott Bargloff, who may be checking in tonight via Facebook Live. The South Texas Speedway, Corpus Christi's place to race, a terrific racetrack running on Saturday nights. Check them out today over at SouthTXSpeedway.com. And thanks Scott again for all he does for the entire sim racing community. Greatly appreciated. Also want to say hey to our buddy Jake Keel over at Montstar Productions. He is hashtag making dirt track racing great again, but we're going to hashtag it up. We're going to make short track racing great again. I don't care if it's dirt or pavement. You got to support grassroots racing. Nobody does it better than the gang over at Montstar Productions. If you take a buddy to the racetrack this year, I know Todd and I have talked a lot about it. We don't care if it's asphalt or dirt. Expose new people to great racing out there. Support your local racetracks before they are gone. And check out the gang on Facebook at Montstar Productions. Also want to say hey and thank you to the gang over at TDR Racing League, the sponsor of the Turtle. Also going to say thanks to the gang over at Hard Motorsports. They sponsor our quick time of the evening, which tonight goes to Danny Hardy in the number 03. Going to say hey to guys like Trash Panda Graphics and Evil One Graphics doing terrific car paints and wraps over on iRacing. And also, of course, we can't come to NR 2003 without thanking Gent Nation. Our buddy Brendan Spadafora, full throttle with the Gent. He says that show's been on a little hiatus for a little bit. He is retooling some things, and I think we got some special guests he's about to announce as part of that show as well. So if you haven't done so yet, go over to YouTube and check out Full Throttle with the Gent. And Gent Nation, I know you're out there live tonight, especially over here on YouTube. Give it now a hashtag Gent Nation and let the support reign out there as we get ready. It looks like, Todd, I believe we're going to go racing here at Talladega this coming time around. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, definitely going to get back to racing here. Already lights extinguished atop that beautifully prepared FVRN pace car as we're entering the back straightaway here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Right now, your current race leader is Caleb Lingle after a little bit of pit stop strategy going on. Clifton Ashley going to be your second position there. The number 4 machine. Then you got Troy Donahue in the number 81. He's going to be running third. Fourth is Herman Reese. Jeff Fugate in the number 9 machine. He's running fifth. Jeff Stakanis is sixth. Seventh will be Brett Carter. Eighth will be Manny Diaz. Then you got Bob Gibson. Brendan Spadafora round out your top 10. Then behind them, you have guys who did make some pit stops here under this most recent yellow flag. You got Danny Hardy in that 03 machine. Brian Voiles, Eddie Raleigh. Then you got Rich Napick, Wiley King, Jason San Diego, and then you got Keith McLean, Everett Lentz, and Steve Grant, and Danny Rubino in that number 44, round out your top 20. Those guys all came down on pit road, so from 11th on back, they came down on pit road, everybody else staying out and making no pit stops here, no changes there, Phil. So we'll have to see how that's going to play out here in the strategy, maybe field mileage game that's going to go on here as we're getting ready to go and light the wick car off of turn number 4 down into that trial as that pace car makes that hard left-hand turn down to pit road. Getting ready to send these guys back on their way with some green flag racing.
Absolutely right. Safety vehicle on pit road. That Chevrolet Corvette. And now we roll it through the trial. Start-finish line at Talladega, nestled out toward the edges of turn number 1. It's a long roll through this trial. Caleb Lingle and Clifton Ashley going to be the first two. Single file restarts over here at Hobo. Waiting for that starter to put it out. Green flag goes back in the air. iRacing, I flag. Green flag goes back up on lap number 8 here. So still very much early on in the going. A big one tore up a lot of race cars. We'll see who maybe has that bad sheet metal. See who's got it fixed and see who's got good race cars now. It is Caleb Lingle. He's going to lead that beautifully prepared number 4 car. Clifton Ashley, they stay nose to tail off the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, we always say drafting tracks are the great equalizer there. Those who may be lower budget or low, don't ever have the best of luck. The draft actually equalizes some things out. Even with an open setup there, Phil, you're able to suck up as long as you make a little bit of a change. It might be a little bit more difficult than maybe a fixed setup, but it's a different type of racing, and everybody's has some different niches. Super Speedways is one of my strong points. Besides some of the short tracks there, it's kind of weird. I like super speedways and short tracks, nothing in between really really I did not like as far as any of the cookie cutter tracks. I absolutely hated those tracks, but anything in between. But super speedway, definitely a different form of racing. They group up together. You're able to have a partner to maybe push you to the lead. It's a great equalizer, as I call it.
Yeah, well, I frankly have never been, bashful about saying my opinion on it. I don't like it. I guess we can say it's a skill you acquire over the years of practice and practice. You need dancing partners to be good, but I've never been good at it. I always have sucked for years. For a little while I was pretty good. Won a lot of races here, especially at Daytona. I picked up a lot of wins, but
Reese,
man, was I terrible. As we have Herman Reese really loose over in 3 and 4.
Lose more.
Somehow he saved it. Almost lose again. Saves it again. Tough break for Herman Reese. Cadillac may have hit a slick spot or whatever. Big move there, big save on the 73, but he's going to be in trouble now. He may lose the draft. And that's something you don't want to do here at Talladega.
Yeah, definitely don't want to lose the draft. As you say, you don't like these
Not
types
at all.
of races at all, Phil. But
nobody likes me.
well, you don't have to. Ask Mr. David Day how it is to get to the super speedway. Nobody works with you, and David Day still makes his way to the front and wins races.
Wow, that's when he used to race.
You have to bring him in and ask,
Well, we'll have to ask him. I know he's fond of things that are orange, so we'll never know, and hopefully we'll catch up with David one of these days. If his NR 2003 career is over or not. I know we see him every now and again over on iRacing, but it's been a while since we caught up with Mr. Excitement. Oh, yeah, I guess he's got the car done, maybe real racing, so we'll catch up one of these days. But we're going to stay single file up front as I was stuck I was back here watching the progress of a 73 make that save, and I was missing out on some of the good stuff going on up front. Danny Hardy, the 03, restart on the outside of the top 10. He's setting a quick time here tonight, Todd, and he no doubt has a strong piece. Danny Hardy's Good Wrench Chevrolet back up to the race lead down the back chute.
Yeah, Danny Hardy was one of the guys that first pitted there. He restarted in a lot of position. He's been making some moves, making some waves. Charges to the front. Here comes Stakanis in that number 30. I think it's the 31 down to the bottom. Yes, Jeff Stakanis now making a 3 wide for the race lead. Caleb Blingo up top there. Into that sucker hole, the 03 of Danny Hardy. That's not the place you want to be here at a super speedway. You got drafting effect just pulling on every side of you. I never was a big fan of the middle unless you were trying to shoot the gap and trying to make up positions. But right now he's by himself. Here comes Brian Voiles, though, right up there tucked in behind him. So they may be able to make a charge up through that middle, Phil.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, because you talk about Danny being in that middle hole we call the sucker hole, never a good place to be, but you talked about shooting the gap. So why in one place playing offense do you like the middle, and you play defense you don't? I never understood you super speedway gurus. I don't get it.
In some places you want to have a partner going up through the middle. You got to make some headway, and usually if you're in that sucker hole going towards the back, nobody's really going to go with you. Now, if you want to shoot the gap, that's towards the end of it, towards the middle of it. You want to go up through the middle. A lot of people leave the middle groove open. That's where you want to go, because obviously you're not going to go anywhere if you're up top or in the bottom. So you got to make some moves, and most generally the middle wide open at Talladega.
Well, and Danny did a good job there. Was in that sucker hole, laid off it, found a lane back down low, and a 3 car goes back up to the race with the 03 car, I should say. You want to call it 3 with that beautiful Good Wrench Chevrolet. We know who drove that car for years and years, made it famous. Old Dale Earnhardt, and guys like Danny Hardy and others out there over the years have done a hell of a job putting that number and paint scheme out there up front. Danny doing a heck of a job. Look at the run outside for that Mopar run on the outside. Jeff Stakanis got that Dodge rolling. He's going to make a bid to the race. He's on the outside of Brian Voiles. By the time he exits for Todd, he may have the momentum to challenge Danny Hardy for the race lead off of 4.
Yeah, Stakanis definitely got a fast piece there in that number 31 machine. The number 9 Fugate right there directly behind him in the sun drop. Number 9 machine is there going to propel themselves drag race here to the start-finish line. It's going to be Jeff Stakanis leading that time by. That number 31 machine able to get around the 03 of Danny Hardy. So great racing here for the top spot. Great racing here amongst the top, I'm going to say about 12, 14 cars here in this pack here. And they're fighting for every inch out there. The 4 of Clifton Ashley gets a tad bit loose. He peaks down to the bottom. Oh, more contact! We got more drivers almost upside down on the back straightaway.
Oh my goodness, that was almost bigger than it could have been right there as I was looking at that beautiful 4 car. I don't know if he was involved in that one or not, but yellow flag will roll out to the speedway for the second time as we come back to the yellow on lap number 14. Slow it back down with our second head of a record service caution flag of the night. As I look over to the Facebook Live chat, I see Larry Rubenstein out here, our buddy Brian Wolf out there. Brian, good to see you, but man, Todd, a wild one happening here already. The second one of the night. This one far much smaller than our first, yellow flag on lap number 3. But lap 15 puts you back to work with a BladeNode.com full velocity racing network instant replay. And you talked about the 18-car breakaway up front. It may have just shrunk a little.
This week on Thursday, I'll be at my OBGYN appointment. So if anybody wants to try and come pin me while my feet are up in the stirrups, you can come around for that. Pregnant Jam, guys. Pregnant Jam. First ever Pregnant Jam. Pregnant Jam. Pregnant Jam, guys. Everybody, first ever Pregnant Jam.
All right, so Todd's going on back through the instant replay, trying to give you guys the best looks he can around this 2.66 mile Talladega Super Speedway. And I've seen a couple of cars, I believe, to be involved as it's happening, off of turn number 2 and headed down through, I believe, the back straightaway. I saw the 21 car of Steve Rubino found his way into something in the grass and trying to just take a peek back here to see where it started to help Todd get the point of reference. But I think, Todd, you're ready. Show us what happened on the full velocity BladeNode.com instant replay.
Yeah, definitely ready here, and involves Steve.
Oh
Rubino,
no!
Steve Rubino and the number 11 machine here of I believe the number 11 is Steve Grant.
Yep.
And then you got the bump drafting go wrong for the number 04 machine. So they're bump drafting here. The 04 gets into the back of the 11. 11 pounds outside wall. Rubino doesn't know anything that's going to happen here. Slam. Just barely nips him, and into the outside wall goes Steve Rubino. He kicks up the 04. Rubino does not go upside down, though, but it also involves the 193 and the 59 of Duke Sorensen. Tough break for those drivers. Steve Rubino hits the wall once again. There, he drives back down. I don't think he's got a ton of damage there, Phil, on that one, but man, tough break for those drivers. Is more damaged cars.
Certainly is. Steve definitely has a little bit of damage to the front end, maybe to the left rear as well, as I see him down on pit road getting some stuff repaired. Looks like the 87 of Everett Lint's got a piece of this one as well. 87, it looks like, going to go behind the wall and join the likes of Rob Heath and Ron Simpson. So 2 yellow flags here early on. Lap number 16 of 66, slowing the field back down, and we'll see what's going to happen. Some good cars tore up there. Rubino and Steve Grant, a guy who's up at the top of the point standings. Guys like Ricky Johnson, who are going to be good here at a place like Talladega. That's some really good pieces all tore up here early, and it's really kind of changed what I thought the complexion of this race may look like. And we saw those guys come down on pit road to that first yellow flag. Guys like Danny Hardy and Brian Voiles, those guys made their way back up through the field. We'll see if those guys, they all choose to come back and pit again. But for guys who did not, for say, a big break for a guy like Herman Reese, who, lost a draft there from getting loose. Guys like Caleb Lingle, Brendan Spadafora, those guys who yet had to come to pit road, like Clifton Ashley, Troy Donahue, all that gang. Well, now they get to come down on lap number 16. If that thing would have stayed green anymore, Todd, they may have been about 3 or 4 laps away from having to come down on the pits under green. That is never fun here at Talladega to do. You don't want to lose drafts. I don't care if you got dancing partners or not. You don't want to be off sequence here because that makes you run a completely different race than I think you even want to go out there and even attempt.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you. And those guys now coming down. There's some guys coming down on pit road now. I believe it looks like the 61 going to stay out there of Ralph Pauly in the number 61 machine. Looks like he's going to stay out. 3 of Danny Hardy going to assume second there. So I almost willing to bet that Ralph will come down onto pit road here as long as the lights don't go extinguished. Nope, they're not going to. So I think you'll see Ralph come down onto pit road, and it's going to be different to see what happens. But yeah, you definitely don't want to be out of sequence. You don't want to you don't want to really mess that up. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens there, Phil. It's already lap 17 to 66. Still got a long ways to go. We're not even halfway home here. Got to thank everybody for tuning in to Full Velocity Racing Network, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, or or Facebook Live for that matter. YouTube has been hopping, been looking down through YouTube, and just everybody out there, Phil. I just seen BSR Chevy Chase say hi, fellas. What's up, Phil?
Oh, I didn't see that. Hello,
there.
Chevy.
Yeah, Chevy's out there. Steve Miller's out there. Everett Lintz out there. He was slowing down, and his rear brake bias was just too much. Took him head on into the wall. Unfortunately for the number 87, looks like he's out of this event unless he's texting and driving. No, he says he's done. So Judy's out there. Ann's out there. Barbara, Teresa, all those guys, all those guys
all the ladies.
And gals, all those guys and gals out there here tonight, out there. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. I don't have Facebook Live out there, but it's going to be rather interesting to see who chimes in over there. But again, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I appreciate Chevy for checking in, saying hello. Chevy, hope all is well, man. It's been a long time since caught up with you guys over at BSR. Hope all as well. As a lot of stuff's been going on over on that end of the world. Just kind of hearing it through the grapevine is definitely not too connected in our community anymore like I used to be, like I would like to be sometimes. But hey, it keeps us busy here night after night on the network. And we are certainly very appreciative for that. I got to say hey to guys like Andy Margot. Andy, you know why I say hello? You do it to me every night. I greatly appreciate that. Say hey to guys like saw Dylan Hudson and Trace Williams over here watching in Facebook Live here a little bit ago. So YouTube is always the place to be out here at Hobo Racing on a Tuesday night. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the ladies over here at Hobo, Todd, well, they're always here. You can always bet they're going to be here. You're going to bet Judy and Teresa's going to be here and Michelle's going to be out there. You can always expect that the ladies to be out there. And it's those that we aim to please. We know the guys out there are going to have some fun and whatnot, but we do not ever want to be on the wrong side of the ladies now, do we? Because they can make I know a lady can make any of our lives miserable, but you get the Hobo ladies mad, oh my goodness.
Yeah, definitely not something we want to do here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Lights are extinguished now, Phil. On top of that Full Velocity Racing Network pace car, and it looks like Danny Hardy going to assume the lead once again. Jeff Stacanis, Brian Voiles, Jeff Fugate, and Manny Diaz going to be your top five here when we get back to Green Flag Racing here. So we've seen a lot of excitement, a lot of 2 wide. We've seen 3 wide battling out for the race lead. Second place, been good here. So like you said, it was like a 14 to 16 car breakaway at the beginning portion of this. But we've been slowed down by a couple of cautions here. And the cautions have been, almost flips over. I mean, the first wreck was really huge. This wreck wasn't so huge, but it did involve a fan favorite, Steve Rubino, on this one.
Yeah, certainly did. Steve's tore up out there. I know the fans don't like that. No, we don't like that when the boss man gets tore up, but nothing more we can do. But I'm hoping, Todd, know what I'm going to hope for this time? I want to see, we know who the best cars out here so far in the early going are. I want to see how these cars do over the course of a long run. I want to see who can make a green flag pit stop here at Talladega, hold on to the draft, and maybe make something happen. So that's what I want to see here for the middle state is coming to green next time by. We'll put 18 laps on the board. So I'm hoping for a green flag run. It feels like forever since I've been into a race where I've seen a really long, extended green flag run. So I am banking for these guys at Hobo. I'm putting it all on them. Drivers, get on it. Remind me why Todd and Phil always love coming to Talladega, because we used to see some really great racing. We've seen some good wrecks here over the years. That earlier one tonight was a big one. But let's see what this racetrack remembers us like for some really fantastic racing. 2-3 wide. Let's get a long green flag run, Todd. What do you say? You with me on this one? Let's go.
Yeah, definitely want a good long green flag run here at Hobo Racing League, and almost halfway home. I guess we're quite sure. About 12 to 13 laps short here. Well, we're going to say 15 laps. I can't calculate here tonight. Green flag back in the air again. Like I said, lap and a half for full song here. Even with the open setup, these guys trying to get up. Then you're going to see these guys slice and dice their way up. As Jeff Stacanis right now running in that second spot. Brian Voiles running third. Great to see Brian having a great run in that number 68 machine. He's had some pretty bad luck in the last few broadcasted races. I almost think that sometimes we've been causing him some bad luck there. But right now having a great run there running third.
Certainly is. Really good to see that for the number 68, Brian Voiles, up in that third spot. As you said, a breakaway up front with Danny Hardy, Jeff Stacanis, Brian Voiles. Looks like Jeff Fugate in that bright green Sundrop machine. trying to make that a 4-car breakaway up front. Eddie Rayleigh in the 112 trying to break free of that little gap there between a second pack where you find guys like Wiley King back there. How about the 4-car of Clifton Ashley, that awesome-looking Pennzoil scheme that is always going to be one of my favorites out there. That car is always going to get my attention. Love that 4-car. Good to see him running up there in the top half dozen. Currently running 6, but we're going to go at it 2 wide there off of 2. And we got some teammates that are locked together. Look at Stacanus and Voiles. Stacanus and Fugate. How many times have we called the Jeff and Jeff show here at Hobo over the years? They said, Todd, you know what Shark Week? They say look out for the shark, Jeff Stacanus. He looks for the lead over in turn 3.
Yeah. I did see that comment out there in the YouTube chat box. I watched everybody comment, and always a great place out there in YouTube. But yeah, Jeff Stacanus right now lurking. They're working over the bottom, but it's 2 versus 4. 2 on the bottom, 4 up top, and almost a 5th contender up on the top shelf of the Speedway. As again, those guys tried to make some headway, but it's going to stall. Obviously, 4 cars going to be 2, but they're hanging on. They're hanging 10 there, Phil. They're able to keep up with the guys, but just not able to propel themselves like they would.
No, it really is, and it looks like this may end up being, I'm going to try to guess here what the breakaway count is going to be here up front. There's a lot of cars up on the top lane of the racetrack. I see guys like Wiley King kind of stuck down low. Kilojoules in the 029 in the back part of the top 10 trying to make it happen down low with the 37 of Brendan Spadafora. Brendan having a good run here early on in the top 10. I've seen guys like Manny Diaz up at the top 5. He has fallen outside the top 10. The 44 of Danny Rubino. Oh, Bino's starting to make waves up there, Todd. He currently runs 12th, and he is making a bid down to the low side, almost 3 wide through the tri-oval. It is good to see Danny Rubino. Bino needs a good run because I see the nights that Bino gets taken out. I don't know if you follow him on Facebook, but he always posts a highlight video of a nightly racing over here at Hobo. And 99% of the times is Bino being cranky because he got involved in a wreck. Let's give him some good juju here tonight.
Yeah, it'd be nice to give him some good juju. Having a great run there right now, currently running in that 12th spot. So Danny Rubino starting to make some headway up through. Again, up front, it is right now the 03 of Danny Hardy with help from Brian Voiles. Second or third is Jeff Stacanus. Stacanus right now holding on here to the 3rd spot, but I don't know for how long it's going to be, as it looks like he's starting to get some help down at the bottom, propelling him up there towards the lead, as Kilojoules in the 029 has dropped down to the bottom to help the number 9, the 31. But this time by, it's going to be Danny Hardy leading once again. But I tell you what, they're starting to wind it up on the bottom.
They really are, and I've been watching that 029 starting to peek his way forward. 4th car on the inside is old KJ, and I'm going to call him Babe Ruth tonight. You know why? Because in the in-game chatter, 029 KJ whispered at me a message and says, I am winning here tonight. If I don't win, PPR2 is going to win, but so I playfully played back to the field in there and said, guys, good luck, have some fun, don't let KJ win. KJ Toddy called the shot, said, watch out, 029 going back to victory lane tonight. So far, so good. He came from pretty much toward the back of the field. He's already mixed his way up to the top 10. The Babe doing a good job there, the 029. Looks like he's going to run here 7th at the start-finish line next time by as we complete lap 23 of 66.
Yeah, definitely was involved in a wreck too early, Phil, was the 029 machine. He did have a little bit of damage. Looks like they pretty much fixed that issue. Able to ride right there in behind the number 9, but I haven't seen him really close the gap right up on the rear bumper of Fugate or the 31 of Stacanus for that matter. So I don't know if some of that damage affected him here, but he's able to keep up with the guys at least and stay in line.
Certainly is, and I'm just kind of peeking around here watching this lead group, seeing guys like Troy Donahue, mix it up in the high lane there. The number 81 having a good run here early in the top 10. Guys like, watching guys like Herman Reese having a battle on back through after a couple of issues early. 73 car now back up into the top 15. Last time by, Herman Reese was scored 14th. A guy who I know is not a fan of the super speedways. He's a guy who always loved short track racing. He was always really good on those cookie cutters of the miles. Herman Reese trying to make his way back on through the field. And I'm just kind of watching around here, Todd, seeing what guys are doing up in this lead pack. And it's so far right now tame. And this is what I think I predicted these guys are going to do. I'm rooting for a long run. And if these guys mind their P's and Q's right now, that looks right there down the back chute. This looks like it has the feel of potentially a nice long green flag run here through around the green flag pit stops. But I am dying to see. It's been forever since we watched green flag pit stops here at Talladega.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some green flag pit stops out of this bunch. Now, I know they got it in them here, Phil. This usually produces a great race here for Hobo Racing, and Yeah, they've had some issues in the past there with some of the shorter tracks, but Talladega's always been one of their strong suits.
It really has, and I'm going to take my rant a little. Can I rant for a minute, Todd? We're watching this great two-wide pack racing, and it's, you can call the races for the lead, but they're going to change so frequently. So can I go on a rant here about a green flag pit stop at Talladega and why I think it's so much cooler and harder to do here in NR 2003?
Sure.
Ask your permission. Let me rant.
Sure,
All
why
right.
not?
All right, let me rant. All right, so, anybody who pays attention to sim racing as a whole, maybe not so much into the iRacing world, but all the big stink of the NASCAR world this week was iRacing was live on NBCSN last week, and I know you saw guys like Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's a big advocate for stuff like that, Steve Letarte and that gang, and I'm so happy to see that because iRacing is a great tool and a great sim and some great racing. But the biggest quirk I have with it, and I wish they did it on network TV, make a pit stop maybe even make a pit stop and show it on TV. You know why I say that, Todd? Because remember for years and years that we did this in our 2003, we had to dive onto pit road, keep control of our race cars, and dodge traffic around us. Something wrong with iRacing. They can drive through cars on pit road. This is why NR 2003 has stood the test of time, because we still need to do this with a skill and you're looking out for the fellow cars around us. In iRacing, you just let that thing fly in there and no problem.
Well,
rant over.
That's something that we've all discussed over time here, especially watching those guys come down on pit road. And unfortunately, iRacing hasn't fixed it. It's been on the questionnaires before. iRacing hasn't fixed that. They did put in nice shiny cameras and the camera bulb flashes. They did put in the mechanical flagger. You can actually see the green flag wave again. That's all stuff, obviously we had here in NASCAR 2003. So hopefully they're going to see some more there where you don't have to drive through cars and actually have to mind the cars around you. I think that does make this game a little bit more fun to watch, especially coming down on pit road.
Oh, man, for how many years did everybody call for... Remember the old DRTV punt cam we used to have here at the Center Pit Road? That was a hit. People wanted to see you guys juke and jive and dive onto a pit road at a place like Talladega and Daytona to make a pit stop. And all the what to do about iRacing, well, the love still runs right here. This is why all that great sim was originated from this right here. And this is why this is still so much fun, why this game is going to be alive and well and breathe for a long time. So... sorry, folks, if you don't like the rant, but I had to do it as we call it, like we see it here live on Full Velocity. We are approaching halfway, Todd. We got 29 laps on the scoreboard to complete next time by. 66 the distance to Sori so far. Danny Hardy's number 03 has led the majority of the laps here tonight. No, you got the lap counter that I don't up there for the telemetry stuff, see who has led the most laps, but he's had a good run. Brian Voiles, the 68. Brian has had a really terrific run. And how about the 4-car of Clifton Ashley, a guy we don't see enough here on the network, turning in a good, strong run. That 4-car, not only is it great, it's running up in the 3rd position. Not only has it got that Pennzoil, I look at it from the side, Todd, and I almost get the illusion of the old Levi Garrett paint scheme as well. So talk about two greats from New York, the old Jeff Bodine, Levi Garrett scheme, the old Steve Park Pennzoil scheme. The mixed match of both on that car, I'm such a fan. I'm going to ask you, so whoever painted that 4-car, can you slap my name on it? Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be rather interesting. Yeah, you're right. It does look like the old Levi Garrett scheme, and I was a big Jeff Bodine fan, Jeffrey Bodine, whatever you want to call him nowadays. But I tell you, watching him come up through, I got to watch him as a kid there, coming back to the local tracks that he ran at Shangri-La. That was awesome to see him come back. And I remember Todd Bodine in a late model, Phil, the
goodness.
Onion in a late model. And watching him go there, and he didn't look very well anytime I watched him. So, yeah, I mean, he progressed as he went to the truck series, but, man, he did not ever look well in that late model when I got to watch him.
My Todd Bodine stories and exposure was as a young guy as well, and I watched him go off in consies at the Waterford Speed Bowl, and he led the Waterford Speed Bowl that unfortunately looks like it's going to be closed for the entire 2019 season. Hopefully it'll reopen again next year, but, yeah, I remember... once upon a time, Todd Bodine, before he was a Truck Series champion, couldn't even qualify to a modified main event at Waterford on a Saturday night. So that just goes over the years. But cool to see those guys, still those schemes out there, and great to go back and relive some of that out there as we look for good racing up inside the top 10 happening, where Danny Hardy leads over Brian Voiles, Clifton Ashley, Keela Jules, Troy Donahue making up your top 5. 6th we find Jeff Stakanis, Eddie Rayleigh running in 7th. Jeff Fugate is 8th. Brendan Spatafora in 9th. Danny Rubino is up in the top 10. 11th is Manny Diaz. Wiley King is running in 12th. Bob Gibson, 13th. Jason San Diego, 14th. Keith McLean, the number 28. I haven't talked a lot about Keith tonight. Keith out there running in position over 15. 16 is Ricky Johnson. Herman Reese is 17th. Billy Carter is 18th. Rich Napick is 19th. Randy Smith rounds out our top 20. Brett Carter, not Billy Carter. Brett Carter, number 66 car, is running 18th. 21st is Kevin Roy. Duke Sorensen is 22nd. Ralph Pauly, 23rd. Ricky Bumbleau is 24th. Matt Stern running out our top 25. Caleb Lingle, the guy we saw running up front early, is now mired back in 26th. Steve Rubino currently runs 27th. Steve Grant, 28th. Harry Codian is 29th. Bob Becker is 28th. Steve Grant, 29th. Harry Codian currently sitting one lap down in 30th, so a rare off night for Harry here at a Super Speedway. Everett Lintz, Rob Heath, and Ron Simpson, they are the 3 cars out of the event. 33 cars took the green flag here, Todd, about 40 minutes ago on your source of esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network halfway report presented by your friends here. And check us out today at fullvelocitytv.com if you haven't done so yet. Our full event calendar is there, and it's going to stay busy through the duration of the summer. And we have stuff already locking in, Todd, for the fall and even to the entry part of winter. I can't believe how busy we stay. I can't believe how busy we're going to be. We are so thankful for all the love and support we get from all over the sim racing community.
What was that bad word you said? Didn't you just say a bad word here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network?
I said a bad word?
Yeah, you said a bad word.
I said a bad word.
Yeah, I can't say it. It's not... we try to keep this PG-13. I mean, what bad word did you just say, Phil?
Didn't say a bad word.
Oh, yes, almost into... Oh, not cool. Not a cool word here in the upstate New York. Definitely not a cool word.
Winter. I said winter.
Yes, that is a bad
word. I know.
Let's get through the summer and the fall. I love the fall out here in New York. I love the changing leaves and all that.
Todd, it's 975 degrees outside. I can think about a little cool winter day right now.
I will never complain about sunshine,
melting,
and warm weather. There's no such thing as melting in this weather. You might be a little bit warm. Grab a fan. You're perfectly fine. As we brave all the elements here in New York. We could be 108 degrees one moment and then negative 10 the next.
Certainly can, and looks like we were going about negative 10 there down the back straightaway for a second, as it looks like somebody's car was merging back off of pit road. I'm not sure if it was a 59 of Duke Sorensen. I think I saw Herman Reese down on pit road. I think I saw the number 66 of Carter. Yep, certainly did. Danny Rubino was down, so looks like some of these guys who stayed out in the last run of green flag pit stops, it looks like the window was out for those fellows, as now the race leader Danny Hardy is going to pit his Chevrolet out of the race lead. Todd, let's take a look and see what Danny Hardy does here past halfway on pit road.
Yeah, Danny Hardy, we're going to follow him down to his pit stall here for the attention of his pit crew. See if he's going to come in and just get fuel only or some tires there on that 03 machine. A really long pit road here in the 03 as he's got the very last pit stall as they go to work here on the driver of the number 03. Right side tires up in the air as the Jackman puts them up in the air. Looks like they're going to put right side tires on the 03 machine. I don't believe, nope, just right side tires,
right
fuel,
sides.
And he's down and away. But the 4 with a fantastic pit stop there, Clifton Ashley, doing a fantastic job there, Phil, able to propel himself around Danny Hardy.
And I ain't so sure. I'm going to go back here and take a look again. I don't know if the 4 car took tires at all, and I think that's a pretty good gamble play inside. No, he come down. It was gas and go for the 4 cars. So he decided to not take those 2 right sides. And Talladega has always been a place where tire wear was never really a big crucial factor. So I think a terrific call there for the 4 car. Clifton Ashley, see if he propels himself here for a good stand off of pit road. I'm looking for more drivers down here that may have just come off. I think I saw the old 29 may have just come off the pit lane as well. I believe the 193 of Ricky Johnson the 16 of Brian Voiles. All those drivers were just down all on pit road together. So if they see if they can't form that train back up, and I believe it was a 112 of Eddie Rayleigh who was the race leader last time by. Let's see where the 112 currently sits. He's down on pit road. His U.S. Army Chevrolet down to the number 112. Looks like he has already come in. Looks like he has got some work done. So Eddie Rayleigh going to rejoin the race. I believe he was the last for a holdout, so had yet come to pit road. And you say you got somebody else. Somebody's making another pass through.
Yeah, Clifton Ashley, I believe,
Oh,
too
no.
fast entering pit road on his pit stop there. So that might have helped him just a tad bit get out in front of Danny Hardy's. It didn't look like he passed a bunch of guys coming down onto pit road. Too fast entering. So Clifton Ashley has to do a slow drive-through penalty.
I'm sorry, buddy. That's a curse of driving at number 4. Because I know I drive the 4, and I never get through pit road and not get myself screwed up under green with a penalty. That's why I said I wanted to see green flag pit stops. That is why, because who can do it better than anybody else? Well, looks like we've got our first one of the night. That has all spread itself out. Wiley King currently going to lead the field over Ricky Johnson, Jason San Diego, Keila Jules, Danny Hardy, Jeff Stakanis, Brian Voiles, Randy Smith, Keith McLean, and now Herman Reese. Those 10 drivers currently migrate in the top 10. And look at the picture here, Todd. After running green flag pit stops, they are locked up 2 by 2 by 2. It looks like a high-speed pace lap. We just came off a pit stop, so they're over in 3.
Yeah, trying to get the camera angles back, just looking at some different cars there, Phil, as you were talking about some great racing going on, and finally got back here with the lead group, the lead pack, as you said, 2 by 2 by 2. It's kind of broke up since I got up here, so I guess they heard I was coming with the cameras, but the number 68 machine there, right there, I believe, no, that's the 093 machine there up front of Ricky Johnson, the 193, excuse me, the Voiles Trucking number 193. He's got help from the 029 of Kilojoules right there directly behind him. So some good racing going on here up in the lead pack as these guys are fighting tooth and nail. But the bottom group does not seem to be moving as well as it should.
Nope, not at all. Guys like Wiley King were down there running it with the help of Jason San Diego, and everybody just kind of left them. They were 2 by 2. They all went up high. Those 2 drivers kind of left down there all by themselves. I'll play them the lonely song. Yep, all by myself. How many times do I sing that at a super speedway? I know Brendan can talk about it. I've sung that tune on many, many occasions out here at Talladega. Now, Todd, we're slowed down. Yellow flag on the speedway. Yellow, yellow, yellow for the 3rd time on lap number 40. So slow the field back down, put you back to work, and see if we can't help you out here and figure out what is the purpose and the reason for a BladeNo.com instant replay that we're going to have to show off, and we'll see what I can't find back here. But yellow coming out on lap number 40. And I've yet to figure out even where it may have come from. Maybe you're faster than I am.
I don't see anything as of right now, Phil. I'm still looking here, and we'll see if I can find anything here. What brought out this yellow flag is just kind of catering, looking down through, and this is going to be a tough one. I don't know.
I'm looking. I'm not finding it either, which is pretty normal for me, I guess.
I found it.
He's got something to show you, so let him get it all queued up. Take a look at it. BladeNo.com, full velocity instant replay with the best of the business. My buddy and partner in crime, Mr. Todd Stanton. What did you find? Because I haven't found it yet.
Yeah. So we're going to show a little bit here. And unfortunately, another fan favorite, Danny Rubino, involved in this one.
Ow.
Yeah, the 46 gets up into the number 44, sends Danny Rubino around. Rubino saves it. What a fantastic job! But in the so we're going to show that real quick again. This is great hands by the number 44 machine, able to save it. So you can see that maybe he's had a lot of practice at it or something. As he gets completely sideways, able to bring it back. Now, when he comes back, he's loose. So the 17 of Pushrod makes a evasive maneuver here, and when he does so, he touches that apron. Apron equals bad, and he gets loose down the bottom, comes back up the track, nails the 66 machine, and hard into the outside wall. It goes this 17 machine of good old Pushrod. The 66 also of Brett Carter his night, I tell you what, came to a halt just a tad bit there, as he made a lot of contact to the wall also. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to make it back out. But again, it started with Danny Rubino, but definitely a fantastic save by that 44 machine.
And I'm not sure what you're insinuating there. It looked like he may have been a little bit of practice. It feels like Bino may, he's had a target on him for a while. Love Bino. He's a great guy. But I think the help of him being involved in some of those wrecks probably helped us out of the race car. And that's at better than 185 miles per hour, Todd. That is pretty dang impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive to be able to save a car like that. I would say dirt track background, but I haven't ever seen him on the dirt track. So it's just good old driving at probably a Saturday night short track. Able to hold on to that one, and that was fantastic. Just a little bit faster, like you said, 185 miles an hour.
All right, so I'm out here watching. I'm reading along with the YouTube live chat as these guys doing a heck of a job, as they always are, as I got some bad news to report, and then I've got some funny news to report. The 37 of Brendan Spatafora, the ambassador of Gent Nation, who brings a lot of the audience over there to YouTube, end of the longest line, speeding down pit road. I know Joe is out there saying he can do it. He's in a good car tonight. He is going to have to do it from the back of the field. But, Todd, we were out here talking. You called that bad word out there. I said winter. You called it a bad word. You know who the smartest guy in the room is right now? Guy that runs over here, Hobo. Not here tonight, obviously. Remember our buddy DJ Hinsky, old Dion Hinsky, who runs the 14. You remember that guy who runs here at Hobo?
I think I remember him.
Well, he says winter is okay here down in Florida. Smartest guy in the room. I bet he's probably feeling a little warm like I am right now about this time of year, and probably been humid for about 10 months out of the year. But wintertime, he says, hey, okay. I'm wondering why a guy, I'll love on Steve here for a minute. We know the Rubinos. They went from a long time out here in the Northeast New Jersey. Steve and company, the family, are now out on the West Coast in California. Beautiful weather on the beach every day. I kind of now understand why. I'm becoming one of those with age, I'm telling you.
I don't know. I'd like to change the seasons. I'd just rather not see a ton of snow or negative degree weather. That's probably the icing on the cake. I mean, when we were sitting here at negative 25 wind chill factor, like negative 40 this year, that was awesome. That was fantastic. Loved every second of it.
Wasn't a fan.
I stayed inside.
Awful. Yeah, I remember we were gonna move you into a new place that week, and I don't even think we could open the door and not lose our breath. Forget going out running for fast food like we did, but hey.
Yeah, the food was cold.
Food was ice cold, and Miss Jess was not very happy with us when the food was ice cold, but what more could we do? And it was negative 4,000 degrees, but right now just a cool breath of that air sounds terrific because I am sweating in this room right now. I've got the air conditioner going, got the fan on. There is no relief. But you know what, Tom? We're going to get some relief from this yellow flag here pretty soon. I think we're going to go through 3 and 4 this time. And I believe we still got lights on, but I believe next time by, the lights should hopefully go off and put this field back to green flag racing on lap number 42, 66 laps. Tonight's main event distance, Hobo Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking. Got to thank Brian and Kathy for coming aboard here on the network, and especially over to Hobo and making all this possible for us to come over the air and do what we've done for so long. That is broadcast NR 2003, I think, better than any group has kind of ever done it. Todd and Phil together with the play-by-play. I know we go back to likes of guys that we love for a long time. Our old friend, Mr. Rich Patton, who I think did the control sting and what he showed down there better than anybody else. But for the legacy that he left and the mark he left for us, Todd, I think taking it the 2x2 team we are, I think pound for pound, the best of the best. I think it's you and me. I think we've got a legacy in this sim. I hope it stays for a long time. I hope good leagues like Hobo and ASR and whoever else may want us, if we can do it. I know NR is a big chore to do this on a control end of things. I know it keeps you awfully busy or whatnot, but for where we came from with this old sim, to see it still doing alive and well, I'm hoping we're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things, Phil, as I always enjoy coming back. Been busy with iRacing as of late. As you guys can see in the Open, we had a brand new Open for that, and fantastic job by James Grace creating that Open for us here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. But we never forget our roots. NASCAR 2003 is where we started with DRTV. I go way back to OLR TV, ROM TV. those TV shows. I haven't done it. I didn't do. I was started off, I think, as a pit reporter with those guys. I was young. My voice was a little bit different, I guess, as you could say. But I was more interested in the racing aspect of things, and then I figured out I sucked. And then I decided it was time to find something else. I kind of enjoyed the game, the simulation part of it, and decided to start announcing. And then Phil actually contacted me to start announcing with DRTV, and Rich thought he was crazy.
Oh, Rich thought I was nuts, and I'm glad that
I was a loose cannon.
you were a loose cannon, and you earned the nickname of last minute Todd there a long time ago. We would stress around for a broadcast on a nightly basis, and about 2 minutes till, well, where is my partner Todd? And he would sometimes show up, and sometimes in about 60 seconds time, Phil, how do I connect and figure out where we're racing tonight? I do not miss those days. Probably why I have all the gray hair I do now, Todd. Thank you very much. I thank you, and I thank my wife and my kids for all the gray locks I have now. But let's get some of the gray hair off me like I planned to do first thing in the morning. What do you say we go back to green flag racing here as a safety car off onto pit road? And what do you say we put this thing back under green, which Rich Napick, Danny Hardy, Herman Reach, Jason San Diego, Wiley King, a different look for the top five as we go back to green flag racing 2/3 the way home. 44 of 66 on the board.
Yeah, definitely the top five is shooken up. I really did pay attention to that, Phil, as we were reminiscing there about the past and everything that was going on. And definitely a little bit different up there. Herman Reese back up there in the 73 machine. Remember, he got a tad bit loose as he hit the apron down there. But now up to that second spot. And then you got the 22 of Jason San Diego. And then you got Wiley King up there. So it's nice to see some different drivers.
It certainly is. It's cool to see those guys having terrific runs, guys that we don't talk about nearly enough that make up the core and the fabric of the Hobo Racing League. And good to see guys like Jason and Wiley having terrific runs out here tonight. How about Rich Napick and the number 6, a guy that for years and years we talked to many a times on the post-race show, and more times than not in Victory Lane. It has been a long time since we talked to our buddy Rich down there, Todd, in the winner's circle, but he is going to lead the field. But Herman Reese, the number 73, all of a sudden that Cadillac comes to life. He goes to the outside. Herman Reese, after that big save a little while ago, 73 car finds himself to the race lead off of 2.
Sing it, Phil. Rich Napick all by himself down on the bottom. It's
all by myself.
And what's going to happen to that, Phil, when you're all by yourself?
You're going to lose the draft. Or you're going to make me sing.
No, but they really do. Unfortunate there for Rich Napick. Nobody wanted to partner up with him there, but now guys challenging for the lead. The 03 of Danny Hardy, not happy with the position he was in. He has some help from the 68 of Brian Voiles. Those guys diving down to the bottom side to try to get around Herman Reese. Reese right now your current race leader, but not for long there at the stripe. That's going to be rather close. We're going to see what that shakes it up here. As it looks like Herman Reese. Nope, Danny Hardy going to lead that time by, so he did take it away there by .002 at the line, Phil. So that's how close that was for the race lead.
Certainly was. Those guys doing a heck of a job at it. I'm watching guys that we saw up front a little while ago starting to make a rally back on through the field. Guys like KJ and Keith McLean, Jeff Stakanis, and the number 31. Those are guys that we were calling up in the race lead a little while ago. They started on the outside of the top 10, but they are raging on up through the field. Big move down to the low side, 31 up there. The 10 of Randy Smith going to follow suit. I believe we saw a 28 and a 29 all hooked together. The PPR2 guys, Todd, they're starting to find themselves out there. When they do, it is usually a hard night for the competition. They are finding their way. They're all stuck to the low side. Danny Hardy going to lead them once again here off of 2.
Yeah, definitely. Danny Hardy leading them here off the turn. The 193, Johnson running in that second spot. Third is now, it looks like, oh, more contact. We have another wreck. Bumbalo involved. The second pack carnage there, Phil, on the back straightaway.
Man, I saw a little of that happening back there. That was a second pack, and, man, that's not a good thing for sure. Yellow flag going to come out now for the 4th time tonight on lap number 47. Slow them back down, slow it, and it looks like we've got some issues off into the back straightaway off the exit of turn number 2. I think I see the 46 car involved. I think the 37 may have got a piece of this back there, and I couldn't tell if the 68 was involved as well. But this one started around, I think, where Ricky Bumbalo was, and I think Eddie Rayleigh was back there. So I'm going to stop mentioning names. I'm going to let Todd show this thing off. What do you got, Todd, for a BladeNo.com full velocity instant replay whenever you're ready?
So just trying to get the position of what was going on here, Phil. And it all started there, unfortunately, with Eddie Rayleigh. Eddie gets down to the bottom there, hits the apron, comes back up the track, thinks he has a save, slides up in front of Ricky Bumbalo, and then he hits the outside wall. What that does is propel him back down into the 85 machine, 85 into, looks like the 81. Around they go. It looks like Rubino getting up through that mess there, the 44 machine. Well, then you got Bumbalo spinning around like a top, spinneroonie here, time for the 85. And then you got other guys just pretty much involved in that one. The 04, I see the 59. Drop kicking, I believe that was a 46, the Speedland number 46 there across the speedway. A lot of carnage, a lot of bent up cars, a lot of subcompact cars for that matter. So we got some Focuses out there. We got some Chevettes out there now, Phil.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you know, let's travel back in time and figure out why these cars are out there.
All right, well, let's go back in time. You're talking about these bent up little tuberies now and whatnot, but I want to ask out there, how about through Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV, what do you say, reminisce? What was their very first car? I'm going to guess, you know, let's see, who's out there I could pick on? I don't know. Maybe Joe? Maybe Everett. Let's pick on Everett. Is Everett the guy who was out there in a 37 Ford? Or I don't know. I don't want to go too. I don't want to hurt nobody too bad, but I wonder what were their first vehicles they had out there, Todd? As we're out there looking at Focuses and subcompacts now, or some wrecks. What was your first car? I don't know. Yes.
Hold on a minute. I didn't get to say that. So my very first car here was a 1982 powder blue. It's a 4-door Chevy Chevette. It had a 1.6, I believe, at that time. I put some spinners on it, some hubcap spinners. I went and bought those at the local Kmart. You know, I bought the ones that you just clip on there. And then put 10s in the back with some bass and rattled the back hatchback part of it. That was fantastic. But I'll tell you one thing. That thing couldn't get out of its way. It was so slow going up hills. It was awful. It was bad. I mean, I love the car to death, and then I researched how to put a 305 in it. Tore the car apart. Never put it back together. And then I left the one place I was at that we were renting off some guys from down towards New York City, New Jersey area, and I left it out there out in the middle of the woods, I guess. And I come back, they stole the rims, which were actually, you know, spinner rims like everybody thought they were. They were hubcaps, and it was up on cinder blocks. So I was like, I'll just leave it there, whatever. I don't care. That was my very first car. It was a fantastic car. I went from that to a Fire Chicken, a Firebird. So with T-tops, that was even better.
Oh my goodness. And Todd, I'm not sure if you've got YouTube Live pulled up over here, but man, some of the stuff I'm seeing out here, I mean, we're going old school. 87 GMC Sierra with a 350 from Everett, a 65 Mustang from DJ. Bill Burns, great to see Bill out there, a 48 Holden. Man, I gotta look that up. I've never heard of a Holden, and I was a car guy when I was younger, so go back and look
I like
that up.
69 Datsun pickup. That's
Datsun pickup from Chevy. Wow.
Yeah, that's the pickup. That was I love that, seeing that. And we got a 1998 Camry out there, Michelle. That was her first car.
I think she still has it on the sound of it.
Maybe so. 187,000 miles on it. I tell you, I don't know. I love reminiscing about that, but I don't even know what the mileage was on that car. Probably the odometer ran over the Chevette. They made them, everybody was explaining to me, they made them as like a throwaway car, and they always said shove it, because that was what the name of that car was. I guess for first car it was all right. I definitely wasn't no magnet for anything. I'm gonna tell you.
I can't
I got
believe you were
laughed
a
at.
magnet.
You can remember. I got laughed at. I'm 6'6", getting out of a Chevy Chevette. Just imagine that, guys. 6'6". It looked like a clown. I looked like a clown in that car. I really did. I don't know. You know, it cost me $100. I mean, $100 back then was a lot of money to me, and I really had to work hard for that $100. I think I had to work an entire year with even with my mother for that matter. I used to be able to favor that, try to get the money, but man, she wouldn't give it to me, so I actually had to work it and earn for it. Like my father was making me earn, and I saved up for that $100 Chevy Chevette. It lasted, I'm gonna say, it lasted about a year.
Man, that's a good story out there. I think my favorite, besides this 48 Holden's really good, that 69 Datsun pickup's really good. I'm a fan of the 78 Ford F-150 short bed. Those were cool trucks, I gotta say.
I like the straight six 300.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's
Absolutely.
good
So
Ford.
I'm hoping you're all enjoying the trip through time with us here tonight live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We figured instead of giving you all some dead air watching these things under yellow, maybe bring some conversation about, try to have a little bit of fun, break up the monotony here. I'm trying to. I know we've been really busy, and I'll be
Did you have a powder blue
on.
one?
I did not have the powder blue. The powder blue I'm a fan of. No. You know what my first car was? I'll give you a rhetorical question. You know what my first car was?
Did you even have a car?
That's a great answer. They don't want to put a blind guy behind the wheel, but I do remember driving up and down Interstate 84. If anybody knows in Connecticut, you probably know what that is. I did drive a nice little Mitsubishi Mirage up and down the highway a couple of times. That was a lot of fun, but I mean, they never really let me purchase my own vehicle. I don't think you want a blind guy out there behind the wheel. That's why guys like me sit here and call races and go out there at TDR on Saturday night and course carnage behind the wheel. But they don't like me out there racing or out there driving by myself, Todd. We've hung out. You know why. It's not good.
Kathy's out there making me jealous. 67 Cougar fully restored.
Oh.
Come on, Kathy. Come on.
Oh.
I like those old cars like that. I almost thought, instead of going out there and buying another race car, go buy and restore a car from back in that era. But I don't know. The racer in me wants me to race. My son wants me to race. My wife doesn't. So we'll see what happens.
I'm going to tell you right now, Todd, I would love to see it happen, but good luck getting the wife to agree to that, because I know where that comes from. I know she's a big fan of you being out at Thunder Mountain on Saturday nights, too. So we'll just kind of leave it at that for that may go. But what do you say we go back to racing here? Because that's what we're doing tonight here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Having a heck of a night here live on the network as we get ready to go back to Green, Herman Reese leading Danny Hardy, Ricky Johnson, Jeff Fugate, Kayla Jules. That's a loaded top five. Jason San Diego will restart sixth. Keith McLean, Jeff Stakanis, Randy Smith, Clifton Ashley. That is going to be your top 10. Green flag going back in the air. Let's go back to racing here. 51 laps of 66 complete.
Yeah, definitely. Only 15 laps to go, so under that 20 mark at least here. As look at Jeff, I think it's Fugate. Man, he's getting up to the gearbox, man. And that number 9 machine, that surprised me. Man, right to the lead here on a restart of the race, up through that gearbox, rather strong. Able to get up here by the number 73 machine. I believe he's going to be able to pull up in front of him there, Phil. Maybe not, as it looks like the opportunity going to close down the back straightaway. But fantastic start for the number 9.
Sure was. He got up to the gearbox really quick, and don't know if he was laying back and setting that one up, but he is going to dig for all it is worth. Maybe a little move to the apron through turns number 3 and 4. Watch that bright green car up the hill, opening the door for Jason San Diego. Jay's got a good push from Jeff Stakanis. A battle. Jason, Jeff, and Jeff for the race lead off of 4. I think it's going to be 22 at the line.
Yeah, it looks like the 22 going to lead that time by there. So the number 22 of Jason San Diego going to lead, but the 31 is Stakanis back down to the bottom side here, trying to make some headway here. The 4 of Clifton Ashley back into the fray. I don't know if he got back in the lead lap. Yes, indeed he did. That number 4 machine, so the yellow flag must have fell just the right way. But the 31 is Stakanis and the number 22 is San Diego going to fight tooth and nail for the top spot. But Stakanis right now does not have the push that he wants down on the bottom. Up top, there's a lot more cars.
There really is a lot more cars out there as I peek over here to YouTube, the YouTube live chat again. And Todd Everett may have a race car for, not being used. So maybe we'll hook up with Everett. Maybe he'll let you drive that thing around. Probably get a cell phone attachment in there and everything to text and drive on. But we look over there having a good time today here on Full Velocity. Jason San Diego continuing to lead. But here comes that number 9 of Jeff Fugate. He is going to make a look to the bottom. Drag race for the race lead over in 3 and 4. Can Fugate make? He's got a really good piece right now. He goes from the top to the bottom, almost a slingshot. Jeff Fugate going to reclaim the lead down the back chute.
And Jeff Fugate doing a fantastic job there. Now back side by side down the back straightaway here. And the turn number 3, San Diego Edge is out front there with the help from the 73 machine. But the bottom, again, the faster lane of the two here into the corner at least. But off the corner, that's where the top gets its momentum from. But this time, Jeff Fugate tried to come up to track, slide drafting the number 22 machine, then dives it back down to the bottom of the triangle with help from the 31 of Jeff Stakanis.
Sure does. Doing a good job right there, Todd, as he continued to race it out for the lead this time by. Going to complete lap number 55. So we're going to be out here just outside of 10 laps to go. The question I got over here from DJ, and it's a really good one. Are these guys good from fuel from here? I'm going to think for the guys who may have stopped about 5 or 6 laps ago, I think they're all going to be good. Guys who may have gambled if they didn't come in, they run the risk of being a little bit short. So do we see a gas mileage race, playing out here if this one's to stay green all the way to the end?
It's going to be rather interesting to see if it's going to be a gas mileage race. Some of these guys did stay out. I'm going to tell you, Fugate's had 4 pit stops on the night. San Diego's had 5 pit stops on the night. Ricky Johnson, 7 pit stops. 6 pit stops for Randy Smith. So I can see how many pit stops these guys actually have had. But they may have come down multiple times just to top off their fuel. So that could play into the strategy of the game too there, Phil. So it's going to be interesting to see if these guys can make it all the way. But I got a quick question out there for YouTube, and I want YouTube to answer it, Phil, because you might know the answer. I want to know who has led the most laps so far here tonight. And how many.
All right. Well, I'm going to whiff on how many. But if I'm going to guess who led the most, I'm going to take, For the win, give me Danny Hardy.
Well, we're going to let YouTube also have a chance at this one, too. So we'll have a chance at that one. Do you agree with Phil? Is it Danny Hardy leading the most laps here tonight? Or is it another driver? And how many laps did he lead?
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. How many laps did they lead? Then the person who... A trivia question, Todd, since you know it. We'll leave the trivia question and throw the gas mileage now out the window because yellow flag going to find us on the speedway. Yellow coming out here for the 6th time, under 10 laps remaining, and that is going to throw what I thought was going to be a very, very interesting race to the end out the window because I was getting a little bit of information from moles I have throughout the racing surface, and they were telling me, Todd, we're going to be really close on fuel with a smile, so I don't know. So I guess take fuel mileage and throw it out the window of all the best plans laid of mice and men. But we're back under caution, and I think there may have been some issues over in turn number 1 is my guess, because I do see one car down there on the apron. I believe that was number 81 of Troy Donahue. Not sure how his Ford got to the apron, but that is why we have Todd. Let Mr. Stanton show you off at BladeNo.com. Full velocity instant replay.
Well, trivia question didn't go a long way, but yeah, Phil, you were definitely correct there. There's nobody else besides Everett out there. Both of you guys say no 3. I want you guys to count how many laps. Take a stab at how many laps the 03 of Danny Hardy's led while I get this replay up.
All right, so we'll think about a replay. We're thinking about the replay. We'll think about how many laps he led. I'm going to say 15. That's probably a little bit too short. Maybe, yeah, I'll go 17. 17 laps out of 58 complete. See if I'm right. And I'm going to wonder if the pace car has led as many laps or more than Danny Hardy's. We work our 6th yellow flag of the night now on lap number 58. Todd, I think you probably got something ready by now. Even I came back and found it quick enough. And you're quicker than me. What do you got for us?
So it's not a real big one, Phil. It's just the squirrels. I don't know. The squirrels decided to pack up and leave. This is what's going to bring.
Oh, no.
This is what's going to bring out the yellow flag. 81 just driving along here, minding his own business. And with the big Ford emblem on the hood, unfortunately, it's never good to see what's going to happen to him as he comes down into the travel. Black smoke. Squirrels have exited. They've left the building. They want to know more. They are on strike. The 81 now going to pull it down to pit road. He's going to have to find some new squirrels there, Phil.
Squirrels. Not a good thing. I thought there for a second we were maybe picking a Pope or what the heck was happening there. But black smoke at the back of a race car, never a good thing. And Troy Donahue, who was up in the top 10 in the 81, having a terrific night. Looks like his night going to end prematurely. A motor going south as the car wheeled itself all the way to pit road, but it's got no life to it. And I'm just waiting for the call to pack it in and push it behind the wall. I don't think when black smoke comes out the back of the car, it's never a good sign. And I don't know, you said blue oval. It could be, because I had the same motor luck early in the year, and I got smart and I went to a bow tie, and then all of a sudden I started running better. So maybe there's something to be said about that.
I don't know if I would go that far. But I've always been a big fan of the Ford car here in this game, this simulation. So always been a big fan of it. Every time I went to a Chevy, I blew up. It was just one of those things.
Yeah, certainly was. So we go back out of the yellow flag here, lap 59, and taking all that fuel calculating and saving and clutching and stuff out the window. So it is going to be time to let these guys race and let it hang 10 out here tonight live at the Talladega Super Speedway, a place that is just so rich in the history here of what Phil and Todd have done over the years, going back to DRTV days and the Full Velocity Network, and now out here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. And man, it's always fun to come back here to think of the times and the stories and the races and stuff we've seen, all the great people we've hung out with over the years down here. It's always fun to come back. I don't know if Talladega can be considered our home, but I think it's a place, Todd, we probably visited more than anything else over the years. Fond memories of this place, and glad to be making a couple of more tonight here at Hobo. The question I got for you now is we're going to restart with probably about 4 or 5 laps. It's going to be, we know these cars take about 2 laps to get up to speed. You're going to need help. You're going to need a partner up there to beat these guys. What kind of fireworks can we expect in these last 4 or 5 laps?
See, I don't know. I mean, you're going to see guys try to strive for the lead. I mean, obviously everything else is out the window, so they're going to see some of the guys probably came down and put tape on there for the downforce, just alluding to maybe overheating their cars. So we'll have to see what happens there, Phil, and see who plays that tape game to be able to do that. Is light's still on the top, the FVRN, the Full Velocity Racing Network pace car. So it's going to get down to the nitty-gritty. It's just who's outsmarted who here, who's got the right partners, the takeover partners that are going to last to the end, and who's going to outplay who. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't get ugly. A lot of times Talladega gets really, really ugly because guys wanting that win, that big old W here on the season. So Talladega is sometimes the perfect place because you're right there in the position. Maybe you haven't had a win for a very long time and you're in position right now. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to do, and I think we saw the black smoke, and DJ put a good thought out there and said maybe the 81 maybe came in and taped it up a little bit too soon, got it hot. Maybe that could happen. I wonder what the likes of the 29 and the 28, because they had just come to pit road here this last time by. What do you think, besides tape, are there any other adjustments these guys can make for, are they putting something equivalent to maybe a qualifying adjustment in there to get these cars running lean for 3 or 4 good hard laps before the motor blows?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's probably what they're doing. I mean, maybe he did it a little too early, putting a little bit too much tape. It's getting that downforce on that front nose to cut through the air just a tad bit better. But just to get back to the trivia question real quick, Phil, before we forget about this, you said 17 laps. Everett Lynch said 20 laps. Nobody else into that one. So drum roll for the most led laps was Danny Hardy with 24. So Everett Lynch not going over. He's going to beat you, Phil.
Everett's got to win at something, so we'll let him have this one.
He's a winner.
Yay, Everett, congratulations. You're the big winner tonight in Full Velocity Trivia, which gets you a big, wholehearted...
Leaner.
Thumbs up.
You get a leaner. You get 2 points.
2 points. Love it. 2 points. Man, I'm sure he needs a whole lot more than them. But Everett, we love you, brother. You got the trivia right. But the big, how many laps has Danny Hardy led tonight, Todd? Did you say 24?
24.
Has he led more than the Corvette up front?
That's a good question. I,
I'm going to bet it's close.
it's got to be close. It definitely has to be close.
All right, so maybe I'll let you get that. As Everett's giving us a ha-ha. He wins at Wreck-It, Everett, we know.
You don't get any points for that, Everett. No points.
No, we're glad Everett's out there tonight. We're definitely missing Todd's snuggle buddy, Roger. Hope Roger's out there doing well.
Buddy?
We're missing him tonight, for sure. But missing when these guys are gone, we definitely feel a void out here on the network because these guys are friends and family to us at Hobo. Love coming over here. Glad to call it our Tuesday night home.
Some fluffy snow.
Oh, man. You snuggle up in the fluffy snow. If you're going to... All right, Todd, you're going fluffy snow. You're complaining about, you don't want cold, and now you're bringing up fluffy snow. How about
it doesn't have to be
take
cold. It doesn't have to be cold to be snowing.
Yeah, well, you know what? I want some ice cream now that you say cold, so...
I have some in my refrigerator. How's that sound?
All right, well, how about you hook me up with it, because I don't have none.
I'll put it through the microphone.
All right, well, yeah, that could work, too, so... All right, what do you say? We get ready to go back to green. I believe the field is over in turns number 3 and 4, as Phil was completely off screen and paying attention to a couple of different things and talking to you guys over here in chat and not paying attention to what is about to go on here with a wild finish to come at the Talladega Superspeedway. The field off of turn number 4, the Full Velocity Racing Network Chevrolet Corvette pace car going to make its way onto pit road and going to put the field back into the bright green number 9 of Jeff Fugate, his teammate behind with number 31 of Jeff Stakanis. 22 car, Jason San Diego, Herman Reese, Randy Smith are going to restart as a top 5. I have this feeling that may not stand as the top 5 when we get to the checkered flag. 5 laps from now, iRacing Guy flag, green flag back in the air. Who's it gonna be, Todd?
You gotta get the B out.
I'm out of air.
You're out of air?
Should have did that.
Well, see?
Now I'm off till Sunday. I'm nursing a sore throat this week. I needed a couple of nights off. You were gracious enough to give me last night and I think tomorrow night off. Yeah. I think I just blew out for tomorrow and Friday as well, so I'll see you Sunday.
Yeah. That's definitely not going to work on Friday because I'll be at the local dirt track, unfortunately, out there.
Ice cream.
Doing hopefully not the job I was doing handicapping. Hopefully I'm back to inspecting because handicapping, everybody can have that back. I really don't like that. But we're back to green flag racing out here already. The iRacing flag green flag's been out. Jeff Fugate stormed to the lead there with Stakanis running for 2. For 3 right now, the 22 of Jason San Diego. Then you got Herman Reese, Randy Smith. Those guys doing a fantastic job too. But the top 3 breaking away from the field as they're running right now. But is that going to leave the door wide open? But San Diego now going way down to the bottom side. Not sure there he's going to allow those other cars to catch back up there, Phil. So this is going to make it for a rather interesting race coming back straight away.
Oh, man, they were starting to juke and jive out of line. 4 car making a move to the bottom. Caleb Lingle had a thought to dive underneath there with him as we see 22. Now he goes around. We got a big wreck over in turn number 3. Couple of cars getting torn up over there, and that is going to put us under yellow and coming back to lap 64 as we're going to plow back there as Ricky Johnson, I think, just got claimed by the FAA. Yellow on the speedway, and I think this may be the race back for the win because I do not think we're going to have time to restart this one. And at the line first, Jeff Fugate is going to lead over Jeff Stakanis. Jason San Diego was I think he was involved in the wreck. So who has scored third? This has tore up a lot of race cars. I'm going to let Todd go back and take a look at this. I think it's got a couple of our friends involved here as well. A big wreck to finish this one out here tonight live in Talladega, Todd. And we called the big one earlier. This one is the end game for a couple of cars.
Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Just looking at this replay, trying to get a good angle to show everybody because, man, what happened here is tragic. I don't know if these guys are alive anymore. Phil, I really don't know. I just, man, they're going to be in the infield care center. And not in a good way because, like I said, they took a ride, and we're going to take a look here. Maybe we'll try this from a helicopter if we can. The helicopter just doesn't get this justice. Man,
Oh my goodness.
I just don't. I'm just gonna have to. We're just gonna do this. So, if we want to see a different view, guys, just let us know.
I got a couple. You show us what you're going to show, then I have a recommendation.
So, we're gonna look here. It started there. We're not actually on Clifton Ashley's car, but it takes contact with the 10. 10 comes up, hits the number 193. Those guys go up in the air here. Spread of four. I'm riding around with Brendan. As
Yeah,
now
me too.
they are, they start humping over there in the corner. It's one of those things that they're trying to make baby race cars over there.
Oh my goodness.
They're upside down.
PG.
They're upside down. I mean, there's 4 cars upside down, and they're just flying through the air. The 61's probably got the best height out of all of them. Look at that picture right there. We're gonna freeze frame that. The 61 machine, fantastic air there. We're gonna score him an 8.5 because the Russian judge never a good fan of racing for some reason. But the
He's
61,
corrupt anyways.
he probably is. The 61, just the height amazes me. And then the spinning around by the 193. I mean, he just keeps going around like a flying saucer. And then you got the 95 machine just. He's coming down on the track and he's doing a nose dance, a roof stand, or whatever you want to call it as he comes down the track. The 029 of Kilojoules comes through. He's like, man, I'm going to make it through. Oh, Brendan! Oh, sorry. And around goes Brendan even some more. If his car didn't have enough damage, it really has a ton of damage now. Tough break for Spot of 4 and all those guys involved, but it's just a ruckus right there. Just to have to show that again. It just show the height and everything that goes on here. As like you said, Brendan involved in this one pretty heavy. 95, 61, 193. Those guys were the heavily involved ones. I mean, you also had Danny Rubino behind them, and the 03 machine also involved. But man, just look at the height some of these guys got.
I know the 61 was way up there. The 193 got some serious air. 37 was airborne. That was a tough one to swallow out there tonight. But Todd, as we come off turn number 4 through the trial, the white flag comes over the field behind that safety car as you've got all the camera views of the wrecks down there. A spectacular way to end the night. I thought we kind of got the feeling that this could probably get pretty dicey these last couple of laps. I didn't envision a wreck like that. I thought we would probably wreck coming back to the white, but a wreck like that, I mean, the names that you said, Wiley King involved, Duke Sorensen, guys like Ricky Johnson, Danny Hardy, Brendan Spadafora, Keith McLean, those guys over the top 10 all night. They're going to get DNFs here after 60-plus hard-fought laps at Talladega. They're going to get finishes outside of the top 20. Nothing to show for it. That just shows how a good run here at this racetrack, it can end in a blink of an eye, and it certainly did for those guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. DJ out there saying you can't fit a 6-pack in the trunk of the 37. I don't know. It depends on what 6-pack there, DJ. There's some tall, skinny cans. I believe they're, I don't know. I think they're water. But Michelob Ultra has a tall, skinny can 6-pack over here. And I believe that would have fit in there. I believe because they're just that much more skinny. You know, they're supposed to make you skinny. So hence the reason why they probably could fit in the trunk. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Mick Ultra. But, you know, I got to have, if I want beer, I want full octane.
All right, well, I'm not a beer connoisseur, but I know something about this green can of Mountain Dew in my hand. And the problem is, Todd, just like the field out of turn number 4 are going to be out of green flag laps. I am out of green dew. It's in my hand. I'll hit the microphone with the can. I need more dew, Todd. I'm going to say now, I need more dew. I don't have any more. I got no more, so I'm not doing squat right now, and I'm laboring for air. But off of turn number 4, we're going to get checkered flag this time behind the safety vehicle, who I think probably got the lead the most laps out here tonight. Checkered flag is going to go with the field over a bright green carbonine sun drop Dodge. Jeff Fugate going to pick up the win here tonight live in Talladega. Jeff Stakanis going to finish up second. Jason San Diego third. Herman Reese fourth. Caleb Lingle, the number 113, going to pick up a solid top 5. Sixth is going to go to Rich Napick. Brian Voiles overall brings in a top 10. That's a good night. Clifton Ashley 8th, Randy Smith 9th, Ricky Bumbalo, after all his issues, Ricky gets a top 10. KJ Kilojoules gets an 11th, Manny Diaz for 12th, Steve Rubino 13th, Ralph Pauly 14th, Danny Rubino gets a top 15, Steve Grant, Pushrod, Harry Cody, and Duke Sorensen running out 19 cars left on the racetrack. Guys like Wiley King, Ricky Johnson, Danny Hardy, Brendan Spadafora, Keith McLean, Troy Donahue, Matt Stern, Eddie Rayleigh, Bob Gibson, Brett Carter, Kevin Roy, Everett Lynch, Rob Heath, Ron Simpson. They all DNF here tonight live at Talladega, but Todd is that bright green car. Jeff Fugate going back to victory lane here at Hobo. That has been quite a while since you've caught up with our old friend Jeff down there.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see somebody else as he to pick up a win finally here. It's been a while since we've talked to the Sundrop number 9, Jeff Fugate. He burns it down here on the front straightaway. Well-deserved win here. The Talladega Super Speedway in front of the crowd. And, man, what a sight to see here as he burns what's left of his tires up.
Well, you don't win them often. So when you do, you got to do something like he's doing. Burn it down. Let it happen. You can't take them home with you. You already get the lion's share of the purse. Terrific job tonight by these guys at Hobo, and nobody better tonight than Carter 9. Fugate taking down the win here at Talladega. We'll talk to him and the rest of our top 3 next to the post-race show presented by BladeNo.com. We'll walk down here toward the end of pit road as these guys start pulling in, and I see the first one out of the car will be our third place finisher tonight here aboard car number 22, Jason San Diego, finishing up third. Jason, I don't think it's the first time this maybe have you here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, man. Congratulations. A third place finish, buddy. Tell us about your run out there tonight.
Yeah, I finally got a decent finish when the race being televised.
Certainly did, man, and it was a good night for you. Your car was strong all evening long. You had a car that was top 5, top 10 worthy all night. That was a pretty good bolt underneath it. Tell us what the run you had up there. It was kind of calm around you tonight, and a night it was anything but calm out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I was taking it easy early in the race, and I was just waiting. We had that green flag stop. I got good position after that. That was a good stop. And then it was late in the race, and I just tried to keep it worked out.
Now, let's think about coming down to those restarts at about 10 or 15 laps to go. You saw guys coming onto pit road to put more tape on, maybe get a little bit more speed. Did you come down pit road late and maybe make a small adjustment, or did you keep that car pretty tried and true to what you had underneath it all night long?
I last pitted with like 19 to go, and I just took gas on that stop, so my tires are a little older too, and that's the only change I made, and I was just trying to keep the track position.
Track position? Oh, go ahead.
I figured it'd get a little maybe messy at the end there.
Well, you guessed right, and I had the feeling when the yellow came out late and I saw who was going to try to run through the field, I thought this one may get pretty exciting. But, Jason, overall, a really good night for you here live on Full Velocity. You get a top 3 at Talladega. That is always a great night when you got to survive, buddy. We're live on Full Velocity tonight, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Anybody out there watching you want to thank friends, family, or sponsors, buddy, the floor is all yours. Take it away, and thank everyone like to thank out there that got you out here.
No, I think I'm good. Thanks.
All right. Well, I let him have it, and he didn't want it, so we'll take it from him right there. Car number 22, Jason San Diego, finally gets a good finish at one of these plate tracks. Gets a good solid top 3 run tonight here live at Talladega. We'll walk a little bit further down here on pit road before this guy runs off the victory lane to greet his teammate. And that is number 31, our old buddy, old Jeff Stakanis, gets a solid second place run. Jeff, I got to say, welcome back to the post-race show here in the podium, man. It's been a while. Good run tonight here at Talladega, buddy. Tell us about your race car.
Well, thank you. Good to hear from you guys. It was kind of the same old, same old. Changed a little bit of gearing, but Jeff and I pretty much figured out that we could get to the front. If we get to the front, we stay at the front. And he had a good car, and I just whispered to him and told him, "I'm not moving. I'll push you."
All right, so I got to ask, because it's open setup racing here at Talladega, and I'm not going to ask you to give away any of your setup secrets, but there's certain things you got to do to go fast, and how about nothing better tonight than that old Dodge horsepower under the hood, man? Tell us about that ride, the Dodge horsepower. When you two guys got out front together, we had some good fast hot rods behind you, but that Dodge was where to be tonight. You guys were hauling.
Yeah, I also noticed that you're trying to figure out the track, and the bottom line really wasn't the place to be. And I kind of thought second line, but it was actually up top, way up top, was actually coming. It was way quicker coming out of the corner. But those Dodges are just fast, 1, 2, and 3 tonight. So I'm happy about that.
Oh, we are too. We were Dodge guys for a long time, so that's really good to see you guys have a really good, strong run on a night where the PPR2 guys were, especially KJ said, hey, we're coming out to win this thing tonight, but you guys put a good old-fashioned hurt on them. Get a good solid 1-2 there, and Jason with a Dodge running up in third. That's a pretty successful night here at Talladega. I just said to Jason, Jeff, that on a night that was anything but K or anything, but calm out there, you guys had really, really good, fast cars all night long, and the carnage was really way behind you. I think Tractors tonight was a big role here at Tally. What do you think?
Yeah, staying out front sometimes is. Some people like to go to the back of the field and kind of lollygag back there and wait for wrecks to pass them by, but staying out front's the better place to be.
Well, Jeff, it's finally good to talk to you here once again live on Full Velocity. We are live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV. Anybody out there watching you want to say hello to or thank the friends, family, sponsors, anybody out there, buddy, the floor is all yours. Take it away and thank whoever is out there. We got great crowds watching you guys tonight.
Well, I would like to thank my teammate, who him and I work together all the time. Also would like to thank Brian for putting on the race and everything. Steve and all the other admins, like to thank them, and just all the guys. They're really a treat to race with, and it's fun times.
Well, I agree, folks. So this guy right here, a class act, and good to see him back here on the podium tonight here on Full Velocity. Driver of car number 31, Jeff Stakanis, gets a very, very well-earned second-place run here tonight, but one spot behind. If you're going to lose, why don't you lose to your teammate? And that is to Jeff Fugate, and he is going to be the subject of our BladeNode.com victory lane. Jeff Fugate down there with Todd.
Yeah, down here in BladeNode.com victory lane with Jeff Fugate. Jeff, what a fantastic race for you. Able to finally grace the victory lane here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, and your teammate right directly behind you. Tell us about your race here this evening.
Man, that's a pretty awesome race, wasn't it? We put a good show on, I think.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Where'd you come from on that restart? I tell you what, that was the most amazing restart I've seen in quite some time in NASCAR 2003. And I hinted at that with Phil. You went up through that gearbox like you were a madman.
Yeah, I don't know, it was, that got a good run when I was back there in fourth, and on that next to the last got a run, and I didn't think I was going to clear him. I almost did until I got down to 3, and I drove it clear to the bottom, real tight in the corner, and it just enough to pull me around so I could slide up into the front. And once I got there, then it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we had a fast car tonight. Teammate Jeff there in the 31, it was helping us, and we was working with Herman too. And it was a good race. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely looked like a lot of fun out there. Talladega can produce some very, very good racing tonight. And like tonight, yeah, you had the yellows, you had the normal, I would say, big wrecks that are going to happen at Talladega. I don't think I've ever made it out of a race where there hasn't been a wreck, at least one at Talladega. But able to come aboard here and able to top everybody here, especially your teammates there. Did you guys have any orders the last minute? Were you chit-chatting back and forth who was going to win that race? Or were they pretty much whoever's got it has got it?
Yeah, I mean, we usually, if we line up, if I'm behind him, and or he's behind me, we usually stick with each other. Sometimes coming to the line, we'll spread out, and we've been known to lift a little to make our finishes a little closer. It's kind of crazy, but we do that occasionally. But whoever's in front, we usually will stick with them and be the wingman, push them to the win. And that we've always done that. So we always try to work real good. We draft real tight. So it's good racing.
Yeah, definitely good racing here. Congratulations once again on your win. But I really the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank you. I'd like to thank you here tonight, Jeff.
I want to thank Hobo Racing, Steve, Dan, all the guys that put time into that, and Voiles Trucking that sponsoring the race. It's just been a lot of fun this year with all the coverage and you guys, the job you guys are doing, and it's good to get back in the winner's circle again in the car. Done it a couple times in the truck this year, but in the Cup Series, a little tougher racing. Had several crashes out and caught up in some of them messes like you're talking about. This place will bite you real quick, but turned out good, and I hope we did a good show for you guys and everybody liked it.
Yeah, definitely a good show here tonight, Jeff, and definitely, hopefully, more races good to come. Hopefully, we'll see you down in Victory Lane a little bit more here on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
Yeah, we're gonna try to at least top 5 back in the winner's circle. But like I say, it's just a lot of good drivers here, a lot of close racing, so it makes it a little tougher than it used to be.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, picking up the win here at Talladega Super Speedway. Hobo Racing League Jeff Fugate in that number 9 Sundrop machine. Fantastic win for him here. Teammates 1-2, and Phil, I tell you what, an amazing show here by Hobo Racing League. Do you expect any less?
Nope, never expect anything less than good racing from these guys, and we are going to see a lot more of them in the next weeks and months to come. We're taking next week off with these guys. We're going to take probably a slow pause, but we are going to see these guys in 2 weeks in Michigan. Also on the 20th, we picked up the Bristol Motor Speedway and California Speedway on August the 27th. So check out the website, Full Velocity TV, for the full schedule. Got to thank these guys once again at Hobo, our great sponsors. Once again, of course, got to thank Head Over Record Service, iRacing, iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNo.com, South Texas Speedway, Monster Productions, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and Full Throttle with the Gent. For Todd Stanton, Jack Truin, Ron Piles, Martin Karch, everybody else here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. Have a great night. Back at it tomorrow. DWR Wednesday Night Street Fights to Knoxville Raceway. So for Todd, I am Phil. We'll see you next time back here live on Full Velocity TV. Have a good night.
Good night.